Support for this podcast comes from the patrons at patreon.com/FML FPL. Okay! Welcome to FML FPL Milan. We're back, baby. No more breaks for now.
Yeah, until 3 weeks.
Until there's a break right around the corner.
How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm tired, to be honest. I'm pretty tired, but I'm good. How about you?
I'm good. I'm not tired. I'm not a bitch.
It's a long weekend and a long day.
Yeah, my team lost today again. Hate to see that.
Wow. They drew at least.
Yeah.
At the death. But how'd you do in fantasy? That team?
Oh, I did fine. I got 63. I got a bunch of clean sheets, and then Mo, and then everyone. All the other of my attackers are fucking dog shit, even though they cost a fortune. I mean, Rom and Ron have been. I was promised points. They've just gotten me absolutely. Haven't seen a Rom goal still. Ronaldo had a goal the first week I brought him in. Hasn't done anything since then, and Antonio sucks now. So I need more 4 million defenders.
Jesus
I need
Christ.
more Duffys, and I need more fucking Tino.
Yeah, you got the Cancelo, Duffy, Livermore, Trent, Sanchez, Cleans, and Capmo. That's all your points. Fucking hell.
But, you know, I
mean, you still went up 200K, yeah.
Yeah, I got a green arrow, and everyone seems to have a lot of problems in their team, and, I mean, all my players are fit and shit, so that's nice. But I think the biggest regret that I had this week, which we talked about pre-pod, was not doing Ron to Kane, which I don't know if we didn't have the international break if I would have done, but like, you know, it's just that one of those where I was bullish on it, and that was my kind of intuition and instinct to do that switch. And as the 2 weeks kind of wind down, I just sort of thought, oh, well, let me be more responsible and in air quotes smart, and just, you know, Leicester's not that bad, and, you know, Evans starts in there, you know. But that sucked, because that would have been more
really
points.
Sucked.
And
you'd have had a fucking monster game week.
yeah, I mean, that was, like 10 points dropped on that non-move. And, you know, now I'm sitting here with 2 frees, and I still have nothing to do. So I'm like, well, because what would have no different if I had 1 instead of 2 with my team. So I guess I didn't really like plan that one out that far. Like, what does saving actually do for me? Right. But if I did maybe do that a little bit more, I might have gotten there. But I just, you know, kind of switched off it. And, you know, I just, you know, that sucks. But we've all been there before, and it's not going to be the last time something like this happens. But
yeah, and I think another part of that we talked about, which was definitely the case for my team, is it felt like everyone's team was fucked. I mean, not yours. You had no flag somehow, but like everyone was bugging about even getting 11 men out this week with just like South American players, like COVID rumors, yellow flag injuries.
I had 3 to spare. No
so I feel like the general vibe around FPL was like panic stations and let's just wait a week before we do the things. But in your case, that was just not applicable at all. But I got 58. I just stayed the same rank. I went up like 40K, like nothing. Yeah. So I'm totally fine with that. I mean, I went against the grain and capped Son over Mo, so I lost a few points there, but
you should be fucking very fine with that based on how things looked, you know, going into the week for your team.
Yeah. So I mean, I was one of those. I was like ready for 9 or 10 men this week. Jim came on for a 1-pointer. Diash came on for a 1-pointer. Doug Luiz started. Okay, I guess like the rules don't apply to Doug Luiz. And then Son COVID rumor was just a rumor. It's just a fucking joke. So got a lot of guys out there. Got good week, solid week.
Yep.
The problem for me is that I did Rudiger to Trent, which was big +6 basically, but my whole plan was to get Rom for game week 9 this week against Norwich on a double move that included Son, and that's just like a whole lot of things to unpackage. But
that's why we have the pod.
That's why we have the pod and another pod on Thursday, because it's a lot of shit, and there's Champions League. I'm overwhelmed right now, but Let's talk about the leagues. We got shout out to the 3 FML FPL Prize League Mug League leaders for October so far. Same fuckhead in first place, not a Patreon subscriber. You hate to see it. It's me, for those who don't get the joke.
You're in first still?
Oh yeah, dude. I win mugs for fucking fun. It's like,
look at you.
It's just like, if I feel like it, I'll just win a mug.
All right.
So the actual first place will be Third Shift Drifter, and second we got Brian Ward, Fat Gorilla, aka Terp Me Daddy is his team name. You love to see that.
Related to Joel Ward.
Yeah.
As we found out this week.
And Sean Williams, aka Magic Money Tree FC, and then shout out to the leader of the FML FPL Public League, still Ryan Mackey. Good job by you. The Public League shit is just the same guy. It's always just the same guy all the time.
All right.
Ever for like seasons running. It's like rarely a race, which it's not great.
Yeah.
So should we just start with Chelsea?
Sure.
Muchizi said, is Norwich at home reason enough to justify multiple hits? And then Rody, Duet, and others were basically the non-ROM owners. They said, should non-Lukaku owners still be considering bringing him in for the next 3 fixtures, despite the obvious concerns with Chelsea? So the next 3 are home Norwich, at Newcastle, home Burnley, 9, 10, 11. What's your gut saying? You've had a bad time with Lukaku.
Yeah, I think, yes, you want him for these 3 games, period. Doing other, if there's an easy route to do it, I think you just do it. You know, these are 3 of the best fixtures of the season, and they come in successive game weeks. You know, it's just, he's still one of the best strikers, top 5 striker in the world, and I just back him to get points when they play shitty teams with shitty players on them. That's it.
Yeah, I was not sure at all where you were going to come in with that, but I 100% agree. And I think one of the things that I was thinking about sort of today as I was like thinking about the pod and shit is, to me, that's a big difference between the premium best players and everyone else. Is that like, if this was, you know, I don't know, whatever, mid-table or lower team, some 7 million striker that was looking like this and the team was playing like this, I wouldn't really care what the fixtures are. I'm like, this is like a problem. This team might not score a goal for another month. But then I see Chelsea with those fixtures, and I think that they will bring form. You know, it's like everyone always talks about form versus fixtures, but there's so much context involved. I feel like that is like, those are the slump buster fixtures that they need to just get going, and Rom will just like get points. I still just believe that. Yeah,
and obviously we're not watching a team like flowing and functioning well. No. I mean, we're watching a team play with 2.5 attackers, you know,
max,
which isn't ideal. It's just not ideal. And I really don't think that he's a good partner for like, I don't think Timo's a good partner for Rom getting FPL points, like real life like whatever. I don't know. It's better for whatever. It's a comment, but for Rom, like, I don't think he will be good for Rom at all. I think he's bad for Rom. Yeah. So I'm hopeful that will change. But otherwise, I think you said it, right? You just hope the fixtures do it. And if they don't, and he's fucking ass and they suck in these 3 games, then get rid of him.
It is what it is.
Because it is what it is. You know, it could be like Ronaldo, right? I mean, the team fucking sucks dick and the fixtures are bad. So what are we holding for? That's dumb. You're just dumb to do that, because they're bad against bad teams and they're playing some of the best teams. So then they'll be really bad, you know? So.
Right. Yeah, and they talked about it. It was a good double pivot today that they released. And one of the things that they mentioned also is like, this has never been the way that Rom plays, with just like hold up and like one other guy and you just do everything. You're the entire attack on your own. Like when he flourished with Inter, there's him and Lautaro, of course, but there's also like Barella and Eriksen,
a lot of guys coming
bombing on wing backs on both sides, and Perisic or Kimi. You know, it's like, that's when he's like the best. So, you know, hopefully, you know, Tuchel gets it going. But yeah, it's also just weighing like, not that I really pay attention to ownership, but if you're talking about what are the potential outcomes, like if Rom does what we think, and I think majority of people think and the gambling markets think and that kind of stuff and score goals in these 3 fixtures and you don't have him, like that's very, very bad. But if you get him and he doesn't do the stuff and you move him on, it's not the end of the world, you know? It's a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's for sure. But at the same time, if you are right and they keep playing like this and he doesn't get, more than a half chance and all of his assists are to Timo, so they're non-assists, and you captain someone, because everyone's captaining Rom for these games, right? You captain someone else.
Offsides.
I mean, that could be, that could be, a big deal, right?
Yeah.
So I think, and listen, I'm fine with that. If you're looking at this and just thinking like, they're still professionals, they're playing professionals, and the team just is set up to win 1-0 and, keep meaningless possession and look, pretty neutered, which is just what they're doing. Okay, I could buy that as well. It's just, for me, just playing the game, just looking at it, it's just trying not to overthink it,
Yeah, I mean, what I was going to say is just look at me. I'm top of the fucking mug league. I just had Team Monster Game Weeks. Everyone and their dogs would tell me to get Rom on my wild card, Game Week 7. And I was like, no, it's not looking good for these next 2. I'll plan to get him in for Norwich, and it worked, and I flew. So that's always the opportunity there. I just think that the fixtures are just too good, and I don't know. I mean, people are saying like Norwich is playing better and not conceding as many chances. They also just played against Burnley and Brighton, 2 like bottom 5 attacks in the league. So, yeah, do you believe that? Like, it's like which do you believe is the first 6 games and the 38 games 2 seasons ago, or do you believe at Burnley, home Brighton?
Yeah, I mean that is true. They have been better defensively in the last 2, but I think you see Norwich, you just say okay, well, hopefully he does the things, and it's just a walk in the park, and they don't they just win. But I'm not like completely confident, and I'm gonna captain him. I'm not gonna deviate from that. I'm gonna stick with the plans, trust the process. But I'm not bullish by any means. I'm just hoping to like back into it and just that's kind of how I see it.
Yeah. Let's move to Spurs, because I think Kane is a guy that, and Kane and Son are both kind of like, with Ron and Rom fumbling, everyone's looking at them. So Jack said, is Kane in the mix? Great fixtures from game week 12 onwards, perhaps cap candidate for a few weeks. And a Dundee Monkey said it's a week too late, but I presume it's a go for Ronaldo to Kane. What'd you see there?
I mean, Ndombele was, the most impressive thing in that game. I thought Son was their worst player. Dyer's always the worst player, but other than Dyer, I thought Son was awful.
Yeah, he was bad.
I'm sure fatigued and whatever, but
from FPL perspective, like points perspective, he was in and around everything, but like his actual play was
he didn't do anything good except for, fucking actual tapping. Every single time he tried to take someone on or do anything, he just was a fucking mess, which
I agree.
Is an outlier probably for him, but just saying that out loud.
Dude.
Yeah, right. He had COVID, so I played with COVID. We've been talking about, right, the biggest thing for them is that he finally stopped playing Dele Alli, who's just, not good enough. I think we can pretty summarily say that. And, bald man's going to have to be paying his astronomical wages until his contract expires. But he shouldn't be near the 11, except for the fake game they play and the fake competition game they play at the end of the week, so whatever the fuck. But, Lukash is playing really well. But and Ndombele just gives them that extra dimension of, ball carrying, extra attacker, actually competent, can keep it, picks good passes. He just offers so much. And, Skip and Hoj do the things, and even Hoj adding, coming in.
They really good too. Yeah.
Yeah, Hoj was good. They played well. Granted, they played Newcastle, but Kane was also playing striker. He wasn't playing, in and around the center circle, which is where he's been most games.
Yep.
And, that's great from a fantasy perspective. Kane definitely looked, normal. And they look good. They looked like what we expected them to look like against Newcastle. Will that translate against good teams? West Ham, good team. Everton, pretty good team. Easy game in game week 10. And then they have that really good run. So,
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, I agree with your evaluation. In terms of bringing Son Kane in right now, I don't love it. Like, I still think that they're a team, a very incomplete, incoherent team in a lot of ways, and a team managed by Steve Bruce with players that play for Newcastle can make them look a lot better than they are. Against these good teams, I feel like they're going to struggle to get the ball to Kane and Son like they have in like for the first part of the season, basically. So as much as, you know, getting Son was good for me on my wild card, I think I'm going to stick to my plan and use him to get Rom, despite, you know, the giant chasm between them in terms of form, because I still think Spurs just have a lot of problems and West Ham might just be better. Man United are fucked up and are still probably better.
Well, West Ham were very bad this weekend, so
still
we see where that goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think the main other thing, though, Son, yes, compared to a lot of things, sure. But, I mean, when you're looking at Ronaldo replacement, you know, you can't, those 3 fixtures aren't ideal, but not Liverpool, you know, it's not Man City.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're doing that kind of thing and you want to hold someone in and around that price bracket, no one on their fucking right rocker is going to tell you that Ronaldo's a better pick than Kane for the next 3 fixtures or next 5 or whatever. So, you know, you can also think, you know, look at that way. I mean, I guess the big difference here is, you know, Ndombele, right, is how much is he going to be able to do? Because, I mean, I think he's been really fucking good.
And he played 90. Who knew?
He played 90 somehow. He knows how to play 90 minutes.
Mourinho just wouldn't let him ever play, but yeah.
Because, I mean, you know, he's just been such a positive influence on them, and he gives them such a like carrying, like progressive playing option that they didn't have before. And, you know, I feel like that is something that can, you know, kind of out Nuno, whatever Nuno wants to go in 0-0 at half every week. Like, you know, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. I think it'll be an interesting set of games. You know, I think it'll be an interesting set of games.
Yeah. But
because I do feel like he backed his way into their best team by accident. Like, in spite of himself.
You just hate him. You just think he's
I think he's a bad manager. Yeah. I mean, I've been on record on this pod for years saying I think he's very limited, very, you know, unimaginative manager. But I do think that, you know, this is their best 11. You know, harsh on Lo Celso, who's a very good player, but I don't see how he fits in.
Right.
You know, you know, maybe Dyer's the one guy who you can put fucking anyone else, but.
Or Royale. Not sure about Royale. But
the issue is they don't have anyone better. Who are they going to play?
Yeah, I don't know.
Can't play Doc.
Where's Aurier? He's actually better, but they just
he's not even on their team.
Let him walk. I think they just let him walk. He's probably playing in like Saudi Arabia or something. But I just wanted to also mention the fixtures.
That was a trick question. I was like.
Yeah, I don't know. He's probably on Watford, him and Danny Rose next game. I just wanted to mention the fixtures because I didn't actually read out the fixtures after that run of 3 for Spurs. It's just, that's when like I'm looking like Kane, Son, holy shit, is just home Leeds, at Burnley, home Brentham, home Norwich.
That's it.
That's the run, those 4. But yeah, you can comfortably captain Kane or Son in 3 out of those 4, I think. So that's definitely on the radar. Speaking of Brentham, Jeff said, are Mbumo and Tony decent buys, or are they just almost points merchants? And then Hamdog said, Brentham D, talk to me. I know we like City, Chelsea, Trent, etc., but Brentham lads look good and could allow us the dollar for getting Son and Kane going forward. What a team.
Yeah, I'm still having a really hard time like reading them and, you know, projecting what they're going to do each game because they're fucking weird ass games, you know?
Yeah.
Like you look at the Liverpool game, they score all these goals. They're all fucking set pieces. Like, it's like, okay, like whatever. Yeah. And then they go to Chelsea, they don't score a goal and they're absolutely the better team. Not even close. They were the better team and they don't do a thing. They lose 1-0.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the defense, they're priced to buy. Obviously they're all 4-5, right? I mean, you can't hate getting a defender looking at their incoming fixtures is just like a rotational piece. But especially how dangerous they are in set pieces, honestly. I mean, Pinnock, like he almost had an assist against Chelsea again. I mean, he's a real menace. I really like the way he looks on those set pieces and shit. But in terms of getting, we both have Bumo, so we obviously like that. But Tony, What do you think about the fixtures? 'Cause I think the fixtures are a little bit misleading. Like they have 3 good fixtures with Burnley, Norwich, and Newcastle, but in and around that, I mean, Leicester, Everton, and Spurs aren't like good.
I just don't know what fixtures mean for a team like them because, again, they're just so hard to figure out. Like,
I think that's a good point.
Are they going to like blow Norwich away and score 4? Like,
no, they might look the worst in that game.
Yeah, they might
of
be
any of them.
Yeah, like if a team like Burnley who sits off them and plays like long balls and contests everything in the air, like is that
they might
good for them?
Yeah.
Like I'm not sure, but in terms of, obviously we've talked at length about how good IRL Tony is. And how he just facilitates everything. But I still think that Bumo is just the better FPL asset. But he's just cheaper. I know he hits the fucking post every game, but like he's just so cheap and so far forward and just, I don't know. I feel like whenever I watch them, the likely guy to score the goal is Mbumo, not Tony.
Yeah, I mean, it's this case in point. I mean, every single time they were countering on Chelsea, Bumo was way the fuck up, and Tony was receiving the ball, to try and get it to him. Yeah, totally.
I mean, the non-penalty XG per 90, Mbumo's 0.49, which is fucking ridiculous, by the way. Tony's 0.19.
I mean, the bars, the crossbar and the frame.
Unfortunately, he has to play against 2 keepers, and Tony has to play against 1 keeper. But that's that's
fucking
the thing.
4. Every single thing is a thing.
3
plus the one that is a human.
Oh, yeah.
Post bar post actual human.
God, that is really hard.
Yeah,
it's playing on hard mode.
Bumo. Yeah,
I wish he would just take it easy, dude. Just go easy on himself. But yeah, love Mbumo. And like, listen, he just got through a really bad stretch. I think you can start him every week till game week 20. Like legit, just start every week player.
Yeah, I mean, ish. I still think, you see like at Spurs or at Brighton, I'm like, you could start him, but if he's so cheap,
It's what I guess what I mean is startable. Like I'm not. Yeah. There's no fixtures on that run where I'm like I need to bench him because he's definitely gonna blank. That just like doesn't exist there. So I love that.
And the other thing about that too is they just played Chelsea at the bar twice. So maybe that doesn't exist. You know?
It might not exist based on how he's playing. So that's a good thing.
So what do you think about both? I mean, you think that's fine?
I think
it sounds like you're pretty lukewarm on Tony. Yeah, I mean, Tony's also fucking cheap. He's 6'4".
He's still cheap. He's still, as Mbumo's the likely guy to score, Tony's the likely guy to assist every single game. Yeah. And he's on pens, and he's really good at pens. And like we said earlier, we don't really know what it's going to look like. Burnley, Norwich, Newcastle. Like,
right.
Maybe those are the games where Tony is just the main man, and like we just don't know yet. And the counter games are the Bumo games. Like I just don't know. So yeah, I still like Tony. I still think he's like a long-term glue guy. Like totally a good pick.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pinnock I've been fucking raving about since like game week 1. I was like, he was so good against Arsenal. It's like, dude, Pinnock, fucking hell, yeah, he's so good. But
Henry's
they're good.
Impressively unimpressive for like being.
I know Kanyos
furthest forward.
Is the guy.
Yeah, wing back or Canos is there too. Yeah, but he's out of position. He's reversed out of position.
It's so annoying because if he was like 5'0". Defender,
he'd be amazing. Holy shit,
fucking amazing. Yeah. He's their doc. He's just like in third guy all the time and all the attacks. But
totally.
It's just unlucky. I wish they would change that shit mid-season, but they're too hard to do stuff.
All right, so Brentham, I mean
Brentham are good.
Yeah, they're a good team.
I have no idea at all what we're gonna think of them like 2 months from now, or where they're gonna finish in the season. Like. I don't know what's happening.
The biggest issue with them is, if they suffer 2 injuries, they just stop functioning. Like they have no.
Oh my god! If Tony gets injured, they're done.
Yeah, if Tony gets hurt, I mean, they're completely fucked. But they do have Wissa. I don't know how you say his name. Who looks like he's got something about him. He's also can't stay healthy for his fucking life. But they have no depth whatsoever.
So someone tweeted a brilliant tweet that was Ivan Toney is the tallest 5'10" guy in the world, and Luke Shaw is the shortest 6'1" guy in the world. And I was like, wow, that is so spot on. I thought Shaw was 5'9". Oh yeah,
his hair makes him seem like he's 6'4".
But he can also jump out of the fucking stadium and win every header.
Brentham, good team, fun team. Very happy they're in the division. Every game I've watched them play this season has been very enjoyable.
Yep, and they're definitely staying up. So some other shitty teams going down. Love that.
Yeah. Yep.
Any other specific games, or should we just jump to questions? I mean,
let me see.
So much fucking action. And Palace.
I mean, I think it's worth talking about how bad Man United were again, just because it's. I guess it's like ad nauseum.
Really awful.
But they just continue every single game to just be the worst team on the pitch. Just like every game.
The board is backing Ole.
Yeah, good. I don't know. I mean, you have to be kind of... I mean, I have Ronaldo still. I mean, it's insane to keep Ronaldo, I think.
Yeah, and he manages to look like less and less great every game.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he whiffs the shot.
The shine is wearing off.
Yeah, he can't catch up to some of the play. You know, he's just like an old guy. I mean, I still think he's going to score goals, but at this point, it's way beyond patience, and it's just pure stubbornness if you're holding him.
Yeah, when you look at these games to come, it's just nonsensical.
I mean, their best chance of the game was a Lindelof 60-yard pass against a really high line of Soy and Evans that Rashford ran onto. Like, that's their main avenue of attack right now. That's their best chance of the entire fucking game. It's just like they're fucking bad.
Yeah.
They have a really, really bad manager. I mean, when are people going to start being like, wow, you guys have been saying that for 3 years? I don't know. Maybe we won't get credit for it, but
I don't want the credit. I just want him to fucking go away because watching them
to stay.
Well, you do as a Liverpool fan, but I mean, to me, it's as a neutral in this.
Yeah, you want more.
I want more fun. I want more fun, good teams that are good to watch and fun. Like, I don't want to watch a team with $1 billion payroll not function and be bad, and their games fucking suck. Watching them play sucks because they suck.
Bad. And they're always on TV.
So bad. Yeah, they're every single one of their fucking games on
Greenwood,
TV.
Man, just keep shooting nonstop every game. When is Ronaldo gonna have a word with them? I don't know. They're fucking bad. Anything to say about like City or your team or Arsenal?
No, I mean, my team just continuing with, looking good. Wilf's surprise omission, but,
weird.
Look good, played broadly. We really are struggling to create chances in fairness. I mean, we just don't, with the players that we have on the field, we just don't have them. We really just don't. I mean, one's a lead, so that's Ayew, Benteke obviously can't create a fucking thing, and Edward was doing bits, but my team, they're fine. We don't. The nicest thing about Palace is that from a result standpoint, we don't have a single game this season that's important, which is fine. We just develop, we play, we do the things, we have some fun, and that's nice. But
totally.
City, very surprising they only scored 2 and not 5.
They were pretty bad, I thought. Like, I didn't watch it live, but on highlights, and Burnley got legit chances.
Yeah, they had a couple chances.
City's best chance by far was a rebound off a Foden shot that
rebound
tapped in.
And like the blocked pinball bullshit that Kev scored.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. They were just not great. I still feel like they don't really... There's not a clear solution to their problem, and
I mean, it did sort of remind me of the 0-0 to Southampton they played earlier. It could have gone that way easily.
Yeah, it could have. Yeah, it could have. Just a little less fortunate, and that could have been something there. But yeah, like Cornet had a big chance. Wood had a chance. So I don't know. Weird, but we got the clean.
But there's not much to really read from that, is there?
No, there's not. I mean,
we still don't like their attackers. We still like their defense.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah. What do you think about Leicester? I mean, at this point with like Vardy, Vardy's fucking scores every game.
He's just good.
Is he a blind spot? I mean, he's always been a blind spot for us, but in terms of just moving forward,
he should be considered by everyone who's like moving around the premiums and think about Kane and Ron.
So what do you think about him compared to Kane?
I don't like these next three for Kane. You know, he's Kane. He'll score in bad fixtures, but I'd prefer. I don't know if this is gonna even make sense, but I prefer Vardy in meh fixtures than Kane in meh fixtures. If that makes any sense.
So Vardy has at Brentham, home Arsenal,
terrible.
at Leeds.
But home Arsenal at Leeds, I think he could brace either of those games.
Home Arsenal, really?
I mean, look at the way they played today.
Yeah, they were good defensively.
Yeah, I mean, they were okay.
They didn't let up anything. The Edwards shot was a really class. I mean, there's just nothing to do there.
But that was still like a wide open counter of Gallagher, Elise, Edward, and the other one was an error, a defensive error. I mean, like,
yeah,
I don't know.
I still thought Arsenal were fine, but I take your point.
That's the thing. It's Vardy though. You know, it's he's made a career of that. But then Leeds could be anything. That could be 5. Who knows? So yeah, I like Vardy. I like Vardy a lot. I think he's a great pick. I mean, they have a really good run, to be honest. After those 3, they have home Chelsea, which is obviously bad, and then they have home Watford, at Southampton, at Villa, home Newcastle.
Yeah, some good, some bad in there.
But overall, good.
Yeah, overall, their run from like now till December is good.
Yeah, anytime you play Leeds, Watford, Southampton, Newcastle, you know, for half your games is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, all right. Yeah, I mean, because I don't know. I still have I have no idea what I'm doing with Ronaldo other than getting rid of him. Everything is on the table. I haven't really parsed it out at all yet.
At least he's expensive, so you can do anything.
Yeah, I could do anything, which is very freeing. You know, I mean, I was even looking at Mane, so
I mean,
I don't know
why
what
wouldn't
I'm gonna
you get the best fucking left winger in the world? Mane is so good. He just keeps donging. You should get Mane. It's a great shout. My team is fucking amazing. God, they were good against. They were so much better than I thought they'd be with just that lineup and international break and shit. They were fucking unreal. Let's do questions.
Okay.
So Terp said, for those of us with Sanchez in goal, does back-to-back City and Liverpool justify a goalkeeper transfer? Or someone maybe to rotate with them? Is there someone we like for 9-10 if you're going to rotate? I don't know. You fucking hate Sanchez. Is he going to be part of your Ronaldo out contingent? You're going to
get Ronaldo out to upgrade Sanchez to like an 8 million goalkeeper? Somewhere I'll find one. No, I mean, it's obviously not a good strategy or usage of moves to spend it on the goalkeeper.
Agreed. I would like pretty much never do it. I don't care who they play.
Brighton are 3rd best defense in the league.
They're really good defense.
They're easily the 3rd best. Behind City and Liverpool, 3rd best defense in the league.
I mean, they should have conceded.
And Chelsea, maybe fourth.
They should have conceded against Norwich, to be fair. They got pretty lucky that game, but for the rest of the season,
you always have to get a little bit lucky to keep I mean, so did City. Yeah. You know, exactly, I mean, they got one right side of the coin really with that Sargent, right? Is that what you're thinking of?
There's that, and there was like a Pookie chip that, like, from a pretty good angle that I actually thought went in, but it was.
He had side netting or something.
Yeah.
So you know, I think you just ride it out.
Yeah.
And you might. And do you want to miss the first game that he gets fucking an actual save point?
The save points are coming.
They're coming. No, he does have one. He has one save point
on the season.
He's gonna get a second. Yeah, one on the season.
Oh, he's gonna.
How unbelievable is that?
It's unbelievable, but that's also the sign of why they're such a good defense.
Yeah, they don't let up fucking shots on target.
Don't let up shots. Yeah, it's just great. It's like what Burnley did in Burnley Prime.
Yeah. Well, no, that's not
except
true.
They're a possession team.
Burnley let up 1 million shots on target.
But
that's why Pope got a 5 billion points every season.
Back in the day, they used to just block everything.
Yeah.
Like
they would also let shit in though.
Yeah. You're right.
They had a lot of shit there. But no, I think you just hold. I'm holding Bob. I did, fantasize about it.
Of course.
I fantasized about my fantasy team about doing it. but I'm obviously not. I'm going to hold him.
What else would one fantasize about? I mean, fuck reality. Do It said, I know you guys were against Foden, but with Torres out for 3 months, does that make Foden more attractive, less competition for minutes?
I think he's a very bad pick.
Is he more attractive with the injury? Sure.
Sure.
But doesn't make him
Doesn't mean
attractive?
doesn't make him attractive. Exactly. They still have Europe. They still have all the things. I'm so uninterested in that. Yeah. He's not even really cheap. I mean, he's 8,
Yeah.
Very, very uninterested in him.
And the thing that people should know who maybe are only listening this season or something is that, like, we both rate him very, very highly. I wish he was fucking nailed. He'd be straight in both of our teams. We've been talking about him for like 2 years, but no. Garrett said, can you talk about deciding between holding on to disappointing picks like Ron and Rom or using a transfer to get someone like Vardy or Kane and Son in? So I thought it was just an interesting question because the real question is, like, when is it patience and when is it stubbornness?
What's the process behind it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think we sort of have been dancing around this throughout, right? I think Ronaldo and Rom are really good examples of that because, I mean, I guess it's reductive to say like one team is functioning and the other is not because, I mean,
that's not true.
Even though well, I think Chelsea are in Tuchel's mold, like, which is more kind of scary.
I see what you mean.
Because, I mean, they're doing what he wants. He just keeps playing all these defenders, and they're winning all their games. They're getting lucky, and it's not sustainable, and it's going to come out in the wash over 38 game weeks if they keep playing this way.
Yeah.
But, it's still... But, I think that the fixtures are very, very important. We can't really overlook the fixtures, and I think that's the important difference right now. These two players are at a crossroads where, neither look particularly good for fantasy points in terms of watching the games. Yeah. Like, wow, they're getting so many chances. Like, oh yeah, they're just not. And, in one instance with Rom, I hate this so much. I know. It's such a nightmare.
I know.
Like, they're playing these teams upcoming that are so awful that you hope that their players are better and they'll just do it, But with Ronaldo, they're playing teams that are better than them coming up. So there's not really you can't really reason that, like, oh, all of a sudden they're going to be good again.
Yeah. Against
better opposition. They've been fucking awful against worse opposition.
And the one game where they looked good and explosive was home Newcastle.
And it was a fucking rebound, and like, I mean, what do we?
But he braced, and they scored 4. But guess who has fucking Newcastle in the next 3? Lukaku. Yeah. Like, that's like exactly what we're talking about there. And I think it's, a lot of it is also just person to person, which is sort of a cop out. But it's really, patience and stubbornness are basically describing the same thing. It's just the viewpoint from the outside, right? Like, if someone else is holding Ronaldo and you think personally that that's a really bad thing to do, you say he's being stubborn. But if you think it's a good thing to do, you say that guy's being patient, right? It's like describing the same thing. So I think you also just have to look on an individual level, like, what do you value when evaluating players, and just try and be as objective as possible. Like, are you stats guy, form guy, eye test, whatever. And just think about that. And yeah, again, just try and be objective. Just be aware of the fact that, like, there's a million biases working against you, and you just need to know that.
Yeah.
You've all said, who needs ditching? You more to say?
No, that was good.
You've all said, who needs ditching first, Benrahma or Sarr?
Benrahma, not remotely close to me. I don't even think it's a conversation.
I just didn't know, so I threw that question in because I literally shrugged when I read that. I was like, I don't know, Watford are bad, and at least he's playing striker, I guess, and he's the main man.
No, I mean, he's
Sarr.
Sarr's really good. I mean, they have really bad fixtures coming up, but
that's the thing.
He's still on pens, and they are a countering team, and I feel like the more time Ranieri has with them, just like the better they're going to get. And I think Sarr's like so much better than Benrahma as an actual player. I mean, Benrahma's been bad for a while, fantasy-wise. I mean, he does all his shit outside the box, and it's just like a lot of low percentage shit, whereas Sarr is, getting tap-ins or whatever the fuck. Like, he's the man in the front, the whole team's built around him. and getting him the ball and giving him fucking opportunities and shit.
I think that's the big difference. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know the fixtures are bad, but I would still rather hold him. I mean, it's not like the fixtures for West Ham are fucking good anyway either, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, I'd rather hold Sarr, you know, just with all of this working towards him. And I mean, I wouldn't be even 1% surprised if Benrahma got benched soon because he's been bad and they have really good alternative options on the bench. You know, giving Vlasic a start is very valuable, I think, very reasonable. Right. I mean, I can't overstate. I thought West Ham were like...
Yeah, I didn't watch that match.
The worst game I've seen them play all season by a lot. And I've had trouble coming off international breaks because the last one was, I think, the Southampton they 0-0'd. They're coming really flat off breaks. I'm not really sure why. I mean, they have all their Czech players, I guess, leave. I don't know, but
Sufal was out, but I don't know.
But I mean, Bowen was good for like 15 minutes, and then he completely was invisible. Fornals was terrible. Benrahma was just kind of not affecting the game, and Antonio was kind of poor. I mean, Souček, they were just really bad. So I just think Benrahma's been. I've been saying you didn't have him on the wild card a couple of weeks. I've been saying we're fucking him for. I got rid of him on my own fucking team, like game week 5 on my wild card, game week 4 or something. So a long time ago. I mean, I think literally game week 4 we were talking about like he's not a good long term pick
it's
anymore.
Time to get rid, etc.
And he's been. I mean, that's been shown in the results.
Yeah, I'll just trust you there. Tio said, a lot of striker options. How would you rank the mid-price guys? Tony, Wilson, Nacho, Jimmy, Ings. I'm not mentioning Antonio, as I'm assuming he's a better pick than all of them while he's fit, but I'd be curious if you disagree. And I'm not mentioning Wood because it's too painful. Ozzy also followed up and said, can we get a temperature check on Antonio? Tougher fixtures, but still a safe hold. I still maintain that. I still think, yes, when he's fit, he's way underpriced and a good pick.
I agree. Yeah. I don't think he's the kind of player that you want to be bouncing in and out of your team based on fixture runs. Because West Ham are a good team, good outfit, well coached, you know, can score 2 and 3 in tough fixtures, can look the better team against a tough fixture and shit. I agree with that on Antonio. I was interested, forgot about Nacho. I mean, starting. I know you love Nacho. Are you interested?
Yeah, I mean, well, caveat, I can't really get him. Like with what I'm dealing with right now, with probably taking a hit to get Rahman, like he's not on my actual radar for my team. But we were talking about it because guest Jason's on wildcard and he had him in like a tinker. And yeah, I mean, if he maintains his spot, which obviously he fucking should because he's one of their best players and he's a million times better than fucking Matto or Jose Perez who just keep playing minutes. I think he's a great pick. I mean, he's not going to score every week like he did last year when he was just running absurdly hot, but he's just really good. Like, I think the thing that got underrated or undervalued last year was how just the performances were so good. It wasn't just he scored, you know, like a Vardy style player. His passing, his build up, his hold up was all really,
he's like their
really
best
good.
Player every game.
He was incredible. So, yeah, I mean, I think Braj isn't dumb enough to just drop him, especially after the 4-2, and like, you know, all he does is return. He's returning back to back to back, 2 of them being starts, 1 off the bench. You know, like I think he's an option for sure.
So we're going to be seeing more Amarty.
Amarty.
I mean, he has to play 3 at the back.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. That's rough.
Or he's going to play Vestergaard because he wasn't fit or whatever.
I don't know. They're both
no, but
bad.
I mean, that's a big concern because I mean, the dominoes have to fall for him because, you know, they don't have a lot of fit center backs.
Yeah. But you're saying if they don't have 3 fit center backs, you don't see a way that he
only plays him in 3-5. He hasn't played him in other 3-5-2.
I know, but he's got to find a way, right?
Why? What would lead you to say that?
He's their best fucking player. He's their second best player to Vardy.
Well, what did he do game week 1 to 7?
I know, but
not start him. But we knew this. We knew this.
Yeah, but he didn't know it, and they were fucking bad. And they got like punished results wise for not doing it. And then he brings them in, and they're starting. But dude, they were do stuff.
But that was happening from game week 1 to 6. He didn't start any of those games. Every single game, they were bad every game.
And then he changed it.
I know, but right? I just don't feel like. Yeah, no, right. But I just don't feel like we know that he's like, oh yeah, okay. LOL.
yeah.
Like the last 2 games, we played better than the previous 6.
I'm not saying he's fucking
that's what I'm
nailed.
worried about.
For sure. There's definitely risk carried there. But in terms of all of these guys listed, yeah, I mean, he
should
easily the best.
He should have been starting. He should start every game.
Right? I mean, he's easily better if he's starting than Tony, Callum, Jim, and Ings, right?
Tony, Callum, Jim, and Ings.
Those are the other guys that Tio listed. I mean,
I think Tony could run him close. I mean, Tony doesn't get subs; he's cheaper, and the fixtures are really good coming up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, maybe value perspective, but I mean, Callum's good too.
Callum's good too. Yeah, all they do is attack. They don't know anything else to do. They don't do any of fucking
until Bruce is fired within 1 to 2 weeks. We'll see, but
bad fixtures for them though. Really bad fixtures. Newcastle, Palace, Chelsea, Brighton, Brentham, Arsenal.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going to keep losing by a lot and non-stop attacking until we see differently. That just seems to be what Bruce is all about. So I don't know what the fuck he's doing. But yeah, I don't know.
I'm still worried about I'm just like nervous about Nacho.
Yeah. There's definitely risk there.
I like him more than like Jim though.
Yeah.
I would take him over Callum. I would risk that.
Yeah, and over
Tony,
Ings for sure.
Well, yeah, Ings isn't even in consideration. Tony, though, I think I would prefer Tony. You wouldn't prefer Tony? You would prefer Nacho?
I think that's a team dependent thing.
Yeah, because
on a wild card and how many riskier picks you have, and how much money you need or don't need.
Like, what do you do with the difference of money? It makes a big difference.
Yeah, I think Nacho obviously has the higher upside, because we know what he can do, but I like both picks for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the last question was Cheese Ghost. He said, "Who?" I've never seen that name before, and he said, "Who are the?" Oh wait, no, there's 2 more questions. My bad. He said, "Best mid-price midfielders at the moment. I currently have Gray, Saka, and Rafinha." It's hard. I mean, Gallagher's obviously got to be in there. But there's like not. I was looking around because I was fucking around with my double move, right, with the Sun and Wood.
Options.
There's like very, very few guys that I like and really want to like start every game or something like that. There's almost none.
Yeah. Well, Bumo.
Except Bumo, who's already in the team, and I just love and think he's a great pick.
I mean, I'm still like very happy with owning Gray.
What do you think of that game? Because again, I didn't watch that game, so what do you think of Gray? I mean, I saw the one chance that Iwobi whiffed. That was just like a fucking sitter, basically.
A Gray assist.
That would have been a great assist. That's why.
Everton are just so bad.
Yeah, their personality.
The 11 that they run out onto the field is fucking embarrassing. And, I expect them to not score goals. I don't expect. But, the couple of times they come close, it's Gray. And, I know the Cavalry's Rafa Benitez keeps telling me that they're getting closer.
They're getting closer.
Every press conference, DCL Rich, getting closer.
Terp's going to keep holding DCL.
No, they're getting closer. They're getting closer. That's a positive. That said, though, Gray is still the danger man, the man most likely, and he was great. I mean, he was great against West Ham. The team was awful, but he was great. He's just like, he's so good. He's just underpriced, I mean, he's like a 7 million player, and he's just way cheaper than that. So I think that those price differences, like between him and like Raf to 6'6" or whatever he is now, like that's a huge difference.
Yeah, it's a huge
when you're looking at these kinds of players who are all like a bit shit, like from an FPL standpoint, not like, from an IRL standpoint, but you're not expecting a ton out of them really at all. So the cheaper you can buy your like 1 return and 3, the better you're going to be. And I still feel like Gray is just a good pick. And I like him a lot. Yeah. Saka, we've been
just Arsenal attack. I mean, Obbs, I guess, out of all of them is the most fine, but
it's just so hot and cold,
Yeah, it's just I don't know. And like I'm nowhere near Odegaard or Smith Rowe, we haven't been for the whole season, but
and I mean Rafinha is a concern. I mean, I've been obviously a lot more skeptical and concerned about Leeds than you have been over the last month or two, but without Bamford, I just don't really see much there, and unlike Gray, who, comes in central and stuff, I mean, he's so reliant on assists, I feel like, Raf, even though, I don't know, he does score from outside the box and shit, but
yeah, I just think he's too good.
He's still, he's really good
he's
too,
just
I guess, but he's $1 million more than Gray. It's like, I don't know. Is that worth it? It seems not. It seems like it's not worth it to me.
I think it is. I still believe, I'm still a believer, but I don't know. It, obviously it sucks. He wasn't eligible to play against Southampton.
Leeds are like so much worse than Everton, and Leeds are worse than Everton by a lot right now.
They were so bad against Southampton.
Dude, look at the fucking team they're playing. I don't even know half of them.
Ridiculous team that they
Somerville,
played.
like fucking Shackleton. It's like, who are these people? I mean, he's subbing Rodrigo off early. It's a bunch of Munsons. It's insane. It's insane.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
Calvin isn't fit. They don't have any Premier League players.
No Bamford, no Raf. Just
they had
Rodrigo
like four Premier League players.
Yeah.
In the team. Like, I mean, I think that's a lot worse than Gray. With
how many shots do you think they had?
They had one, two.
They had 3 by the end of the game. 19-3. That's like a City versus like Norwich line. That's a Liverpool-Watford difference right there. Just
and I do honestly, I still do feel like SARS is an okay option in this region.
I'm kind of surprised you're this high on him. I like the player a lot, but
I like Ranieri. I feel like Ranieri is gonna
bad. I mean, he might. He might.
I don't think that the team is that bad. Like, I think they just haven't had a manager for like a year, and maybe. I think in a month they're gonna be like, oh yeah, like they're fine.
Wow.
Because I feel like they do have good players. I genuinely believe they have. I don't know. I mean, like they have like João Pedro, Dennis, Cucho.
But those are 3 sort of strikers that you just named. That's where.
No, I know. Well, I mean, but even going into midfield, like Gosling. I mean, Cleverly can play a little bit. Like they have. I don't know. I feel like they're gonna be able. He's gonna be able to make lemonade out of this squad, and I feel like Sarr is good.
Yeah. Yeah. There's something to be said for just being the guy, the main man on pens, whatever. But I don't know. I'm still a believer in Raf. Maybe, I mean, listen, they have home Wolves at Norwich. If it doesn't come off then, I'm cutting the cord, because then it's Leicester, Spurs, Brighton, Palace, Brentham, Chelsea, City. Oh my God. It's just a bad run.
Bad. Well, they've had such a good run for so long, and they've been squandering it all. They could go down.
They could actually go down.
They could
just
go down
so crazy considering how good they were last year. But also, Bamford could just be back this week, and they could just be good. And
we don't know if he's getting closer or not, though. The manager's not giving us updates.
We need to ask Rafa. Rafa probably knows.
We need Rafa. Yeah,
he probably knows. And then the last question is Callum. He said Matip is 5-0, cheapest option of any of the 3 best defenses in the league. Next 3 fixtures are a bit more challenging, but even with those, it seems like a good long-term hold. Would you feel comfortable bringing him in now?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you have that, if that's the price bracket you're looking at, and the things, then yeah, sure.
Yeah. He's not going to start every game, but if he starts most of them, you're doing great.
He's already been fit for the longest period since he's ever been at Liverpool,
and he's still got
real.
Rotated once.
Yeah, that's a real thing. This is the actual longest he's been fit for.
Is that actual?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's been 3 months.
True. Yeah.
Look at his minutes played.
It's just
690, 700,
90, 90, 0, 9. Oh yeah, in past seasons,
yeah.
For sure.
He's healthy for every 5 games.
He's too lanky, too lanky for his own good. Someone tweeted the team that Liverpool started in the Champions League final that they won against Spurs has never played a Premier League game together, and it's the most obvious 11 you would pick if you just asked any random person who follows the Premier League last 2 years. Yeah, it's just the nailed team that you would pick, and it was.
Is it because it's like
there's just Matip's injured, or Hendo's injured, or Bob's injured, or just like someone always like. Yeah. I was just blown away by that. Let's go to our teams.
Okay.
So yeah, you have the 2 frees. You can do anything, dude. You're so powerful right now.
Anything. Yeah, I mean, I need to figure out what I'm doing with Ronaldo, which I have come nowhere near close to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's early. It's Monday.
I mean, I love my defense.
Yeah, defense is great.
Love my defense. That's it. That's the only thing that's been good in my team for a while.
Yeah.
But
do you think you'll stay? Do you think you'll stay triple premium, or do you think you'll spread the Ronaldo funds? That's, I feel like, one of your biggest calls right there.
Yeah, I mean, I think basically what I'm weighing up is if I want to go Kane or Vardy, or if I want to drop down to Tony or something.
Right.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I guess it's sort of how often do you want to be starting like 2 of Gray, Mbeumo, and Gallagher is sort of the question, I guess. Because if you're comfy just like rolling them out every week, then that money's going to be wasted, because what are you upgrading then?
Yeah.
Who's going up? Who you spending 6 million on?
Well, the other issue is too that it's not like there are all these midfielders in the 7 million, 8 million, 9 million bracket that I'm like, oh shit, right?
Yeah.
So it's either I go all the way up or I don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you either go like Mane, Son, Kane, Vardy, or there's like no one else we've mentioned that we're pretty high on.
Yeah.
This entire episode, I don't think.
Yeah.
Right?
And
am I forgetting anyone?
No. I think the Kevin, I guess.
Roja.
I mean, what do you think? Looking at my team, what would you do?
I think it's not a bad plan to consider holding Rom for this run, as we mentioned, and then moving him to Kane for the good Kane run. And if you're cool with that and like that, then I would say spread the Ronaldo, or like turn Ronaldo into one of the premium mids, I think. And I think Mane is a great option of those. Mane or Kev, probably.
Yeah.
Would be where you go.
Okay. I mean, I'm definitely not getting Kevin. It's fucking washed.
James triggered. I don't know. I need a link. I would need to think about it more. I'm obviously lower on Gray than you are. But I do think that Mbeumo you can start every week. So, your start every week players are kind of, what is it? It's like Trent, Cancelo, Mo, Lukaku, Antonio, Mbeumo. Yeah, actually, I don't know. Spreading the Ronaldo funds is starting to sound better to me. Because Duffy, you don't want to start him for the next 2. White, I don't know. Arsenal defense maybe on the ropes. Their fixtures are kind of bad also.
Yeah, but the way all my guys look together is, I always have good fixture options, whether it's like those midfielders who are cheap or my cheap defenders. Like I have good start options. Yeah, like this week I'm like benching White, and he's like home Villa, which is startable.
And you're benching White and Duffy, and you're gonna play Gray home Watford, Gallagher home Newcastle. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I mean, obviously spreading money away around is always gonna give me better options around, but I just don't know how much better. Like that's my main struggle is I don't know how much better that is than what I've got with my cheap guys.
Yeah, I just don't think as good as the fixtures may be when you're juggling them, I just still don't expect like a lot of rates of returns. Yeah. It's still like, Gallagher's home Newcastle. If any other player was home Newcastle in the game that was like, 7 million or up or whatever, we'd be like, I expect like a single or double return.
Yeah, with Gallagher, it's like, he has a good chance, better chance than usual, but it's still, but he's still kind of like,
if that was
late runner.
Mane or something, you'd be like considering captaining them.
Well, Mane is fucking 12 million.
Yeah, but so is Ronaldo. That's why and you mentioned
we're talking about Gallagher.
I know. I'm saying like whatever, who you change these guys to.
Yeah.
Which would be, someone like that.
So you think it would be better to go down to a cheaper forward who's a good, like Tony or something, and then upgrading a midfielder to a premium guy?
Off the top of my head, yeah. I mean, we talked about some forwards that are good. We didn't really talk about any midfielders that were good except Mbeumo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there are any good midfielders that I don't have that I want other than, I mean, I guess Mane, but I also don't like him at 12 million.
Yeah.
I think that's
what about 11.9?
Okay, we could talk.
Is there an angle there?
Because I mean, the other thing, the other half measure is to just do Vardy. I mean, Vardy does free up like 2 million, which is like a lot.
And he's good.
I mean, I could do that, and I could get in like a premium defender. I could cut.
You could also do that and float.
Yeah,
which is also really good. You'll have 2 frees and 2 million for the next week.
I mean, if I got Kane, if I got Kane or Vardy, I could just float. That's what I would probably do if I stayed in the premium.
That's probably smarter.
There's no reason to spend another one. If I'm doing that,
that's probably smarter.
Yeah.
As good as Liverpool are, it's still at Old Trafford, Brighton, at West Ham is like really fucking bad.
Yeah, I just don't think Mane is a good place to spend money. I mean, I feel like Kane is where I'm leaning. I think after last week,
you've always been a Kane guy.
Yeah, I mean, me. After last week, where I was like, okay, and then he played striker and did things, and now I'm like,
Yeah, but what? I don't know. I'm still I don't like the fixtures. Just really don't like them. I'd rather just go Vardy than Kane. And I think your team is set up enough that you can just do that for free.
Yeah, I mean, I could do Vardy float. I mean, if I did Vardy, then I would basically be saying I'm going to hold him for a little while. I'm going to change Lukaku to Kane, I guess, or something. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, Lukaku after these 3 is at Leicester, home United, at Watford, at West Ham. If, obviously things will change if Chelsea start fucking looking incredible or something, but as it is now, I feel like you can definitely do Rom to Kane in game week 12 and feel really good about that move.
There's no way I'm getting Vardy over Kane.
Okay.
There's no way I'm doing it. Yeah, there's no way I can do that. I'm just not doing that.
Go off, Queen. Yes, bitch.
Yeah. I just can't. There's no fucking way I'm doing that.
So that's that.
All right. So as long as everyone stays healthy, then I think I'll probably just do what I should have done last week. It's so frustrating because it's just we wouldn't even be having this conversation if I did it. I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm saving easily.
You'd be like, I went up 500K and I'm just obviously saved my team straight. Yeah.
All right, what are you looking at over there?
I think I'm gonna, as I've been saying all episode, I think I'm just gonna do a Sun double move for Rom.
All right,
probably you're captaining Rom, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna captain him too. And a lot of people are asking or should we just captain the best player in the world and Mo? But me and you are still just nope. No. You should captain Lukaku against Norwich. It's the best. Yeah. I'm playing for a hat trick, and I lost a few points.
That's exactly the thing is you play for the hat trick, and that's not when he's up against double and triple team in Man U.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Sun out.
Wait, what is the second? How much do you have to play with the second move?
It's troubling. I mean, so if I do Sun and Wood, which was the original plan, it's only 5-4.
5-4. So you can't even get Wangster.
Well, no, so because the forward would be Rom, so it would be a mid at 5-4.
Right.
Yeah, you're fine. Okay. So the prospects are not great. I don't really have to start this guy every week because I'm treating Mbeumo as start every week. So, I have Mo, Raf, Mbeumo, Rom, Antonio, Jim. Then I have Trent, Aspil, Cancelo, DH. I just have a 4-3-3. So this doesn't have to be a starter.
5-4.
Yeah. So it's do I just go to Brownhill and just bank the money?
No, that can't be the answer.
But what's the answer? Like,
Who did you come up with? Did you find anyone?
No, there's no one I want. I don't want Smith Rowe. He's like the only one. Like Elise, like
it's not good.
Look, there's just no one.
Yeah, I'm looking.
It's fucking Diamond Dallas Page. Like, there's really no
5'4". Oh man.
There's no one.
Okay.
Which is why I'm just like, I might as well just get a starting DM because I'm not gonna start this guy ever. The other option would be like if I did Jim or Antonio instead of Wood out, but I don't love that because Antonio's still good, although he does have a really bad run of fixtures coming up. And, you know, Jim has Leeds. You know, he's just off a goal and then a brace of assists, and then he didn't play against Villa. You know? So
if you got rid of Jim, you get a real player. But then you'd still have Wood. That's a nightmare.
I'd still have Wood, and I'd still... Yeah, so it's like, it doesn't seem worth it to me, right? Because I'd have to either sometimes start Wood and rotational with whatever this mid is if I did that, or I get rid of Wood and just never start this guy, which just seems better.
I mean, it obviously has to be Smith Rowe. If you don't get a 4-5 guy, it has to be.
Doesn't that just seem like a waste of money, though? Is Smith Rowe better than Brownhill?
Yes.
Why?
Brownhill's he's like not a player.
Because he's a midfielder who never shoots or does anything to get FPL points.
He shot once today.
Just like Smith Rowe. Yeah, I mean, Brownhill shoots once a game. But I'm not trying to like troll Smith Rowe. I just don't see why I'd be getting Smith Rowe.
I feel like you are.
There's no fixture where I'd be like Smith Rowe in. Like, I just don't know if that fixture exists.
Home Spurs?
Home Spurs, yeah, that's it. That's fucking it. I don't know. We'll sort this out on Thursday. I'm in no rush, really, because as previously mentioned, there's no one I get is going to be a good player. So
if you got a 4-5, like, you know, MacArthur or something, what would you do with the money? Like, would you upgrade? There's nothing to upgrade. Your defense is already like premium, right?
Yeah.
What do you even do with that?
There's nothing obvious. I mean, maybe it'd be future RAF money or future Jim or Antonio changes that I need to make. There's nothing right now that I need to make, though. No. But it just also seems like a waste of money.
4-3.
Like spending an extra $1 for a guy that I'm never going to start and don't really want.
So you'd be in 4-3-3 with 2 4-5 midfielders and White. Whatever, and White.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fine.
It's pretty fine, right?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't make sense to get a bad midfielder for a little bit more money than a bad midfielder for less money.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to say.
Really, you're going to put White ahead of this player anyway, right?
In almost like every game, unless they're like Liverpool or City, basically.
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting there with you on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I'll look around more. Maybe there's some guy that I'm just not seeing who's just like the gem of all gems, but I looked a couple times there and I was like, oh, there's just actually no one. It's just that fucking no one.
It's also amazing how many 5-5 midfielders who started at 5-5 and haven't done anything have not dropped in price.
Yes.
I mean, even though no one owned them at the first place, I mean, it's not like, they've just been consistently being sold. Why aren't they getting price drops?
I would love to know that. And I would love if that happened, but it's not happening for me. I'm looking again. It's just the most barren shit ever. I mean, at least Partey shoots like 7 times a game, I could get Partey in.
Yeah.
We need really someone to make a compilation of Partey shots. That's a request. Yeah. Real request.
Maybe you get Naby Lad.
Yeah, I was just like,
all the midfielders are dead.
Yeah. Or Hendo, honestly, at least starts every game.
Yeah. He's an assist shout. What is he, 5?
Yeah, he's 5.
Yeah.
Just captain.
I don't hate that.
Yeah, it's probably better. Like putting him ahead of White in some of those bad fixtures might be reasonable.
Okay. Well, this is good
just
content.
what the hell are we fucking talking
Why
about?
Why are we doing this?
We did get some anus slaps though, so we're back on track. The pod's not going up in flames.
I still think we need to start reading out the deletions.
Just for people to shame them.
No, it would just be such a bad reflection on us to look how many people delete.
I'd be like, yeah, please stay on for the next 10 minutes. We got Thickham United. We got someone who signed up called Save Discord. They're just...
Is Discord in peril?
They have an agenda. I think we threatened Discord last pod because we just haven't had any signups. And then we got Jamie Clark and Gerard Hawhey. And us get in there. We got through it, dude.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Check us out at FMLFPL.com. Follow us on Twitter at FMLFPL Sports Patreon.com/FMLFPL. Subscribe, rate, review, cheers.